Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the November edition of the Town of Kent Zoning Board of Appeals. I'd like to take an opportunity to welcome a new member to the zoning board, Mr. Robert Hewlett.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look forward to working with you in the future. And that said, before we begin, would you all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so when you are called up to the podium, please remember to sign in. And if you have those green cards, return receipt cards, you'll be required just to present them to the board, bring them up, okay? Great. First application up is that of James Johansson, 10 Delacona Road, Carmel. Do you have any return receipt cards for us?
My son actually left their house, so we said that I would take over getting the buildings for them.
Okay.
Or the permit, whatever this is. I don't know.
All right, thank you. You can go back. That's fine. We're going to keep you, put this in your file. Brett, you want to see these? Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Johansson, why don't you explain to us why you're here this evening?
Well, I'm actually Diane Ferrera, so we're not Johanssons. We're the
Can you get
neighbor.
close to the mic, please, so we can hear you?
We're the neighbor of the Johanssons, and Mr. and Mrs. Johansson, they passed away, and their son took over the house and sold it to my son. And in the interim, to try to help speed along them getting the house, we took over getting the permit and variance for the shed, which the shed has been there for as long as I've been there, so.
Okay, and the reason is for a 14-foot variance shed corner to rear property line, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'll open it up to the board for commentary.
During the review session, we didn't see any issues with this. They had adequate clearance from both sides and rear property, so we saw no issue.
Any other comments from the board?
No.
Okay, there being none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. You can follow up with the building department
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, we open up at 8. Very good.
Okay, next application up is Michael and Madison Ruggiero, 371 Pudding Street. Thank you.
But we didn't get one back, but the tracking number on here, I looked it up, and it said it was stolen.
Okay.
But I don't think it was on the
That's all we need. Proof that you notified them.
This was attached to the file. We don't need this. I don't know if you did it
Oh.
erroneously.
Thank you.
Okay. So why don't you tell us why you're here this evening?
We are here because we would like to install an in-ground pool within I guess it can't be 50 feet from the property line, so it's gonna be 25 feet from the
35.
property, or 35 feet, yeah.
Okay, at this time, I'll open it up to the board for commentary.
This is another one that we did review at this workshop. As she just mentioned, she has 35 feet still from the pool to, so they just needed the 15, and we didn't see an issue with that. Where the house is situated in the back lot, we didn't see any issue.
Any other comments?
None here.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, you can follow up with the building department tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
All right, next application is that of James Ardesana, 128 Towners Road. Good evening. No. Okay, so why don't you tell us why you're here this evening?
I'm looking to build a 12 by 24 shed on the corner of my property. I have a small piece of property, and most of the property is leach field. So that's one of the only areas that's not a leach field. I actually just had my whole leach field redone, so that's why I know exactly where the leach field is. There's a fence on each corner, like of the property, and then it's going to be up against the fence towards the driveway. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right, we've had the opportunity to review your file. I'll open it up for commentary.
Well, this is one where your drawing depicts that the shed is going to be directly on the fence line with a zero variance, zero.
No, I'm going to have it a couple feet off the.
So as long, and that's one of the suggestions I was gonna have. You know, we don't have a problem giving you a 6-foot variance, meaning that you have to be 2 feet then from that wall.
Okay.
You already had sufficient at the back, so it was really the side lot. That
So
was
two,
my only
do you want me
concern.
2 feet off the sideline at least, minimum?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
All right, that was the only concern that I had.
Any other comments from the board?
None here.
There being none, do I have a motion to approve?
With that stipulation, I give that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Thank you.
sir. You can
Thank
follow
you.
up with the building
Have a good night.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, next application is Jonathan Griffin, 10 Bedford Road. Okay, we'll give it another call. Next application is Christopher Weber, 587 Farmers Mills Road. Hello.
And copies, I'm actually his real estate agent, he's out of town.
Okay.
Representing him tonight.
And you only had 2 to send out?
Yeah, he sent 3 but only got 2 back.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so why don't you tell us why you're here this evening?
I'm here, it's for an after the fact permit. He purchased the home with the shed, and during municipals, it was flagged that there was no permit for the shed, so it's been the same shed there. He purchased it back in 1999. Hasn't changed anything, and
So is your client selling it now? and needs the
we're
permit
selling,
to
and we're
clear
trying
it?
to close next week, yeah, so we're just trying to finalize
And
some.
your name, I didn't get your name.
Nancy Kubik from Houlihan Lawrence.
Nancy, okay. So again, this was one, guys, that we saw at the meeting. We did review the site. It had the clearance that we would normally request at the minimum at least, and we didn't see an issue with it, unless somebody else has anything else.
I'll open it up to the board members for commentary.
None here.
Okay, if there's nothing, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great,
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Do you have a card with you?
In my car, I can.
No, you don't have to do that. You know what, just write out your name. Right here. No. Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
Jonathan Griffin.
Well, it appears that Mr. Griffin is not with us this evening.
Haven't heard anything from Mr. Griffin since the application was submitted, so.
Okay.
Okay, so we will hold this over until next month, and maybe you can, Vera, you can follow up, or Bill, you can follow up with Mr. Griffin. Okay, is there anything else before the board? There being none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, we'll see you in December.
Good night, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.